Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the latest installment of the HTFL, the Hometown Football League. I'm Big Polly coming to you. Today we have a matchup, a traditional matchup that goes back to the era of the Leatherheads. It's Chicago and Green Bay at Lambeau Field. Both teams 1-1 coming into this game. Chicago beating Detroit, losing to Pittsburgh. Green Bay losing to Minnesota, but beating Houston. It's a nice day, a little cool side, 55 degrees, and a 10 to 20 mile an hour breeze at Lambeau, where this game will be played. And Green Bay has won the toss and will receive. I'll be playing as Green Bay. Oh, talk about a couple of legends. George Halas on the sidelines for the Bears, Vince Lombardi for the Packers. Kyle Orton will quarterback Chicago, Aaron Rodgers doing likewise for Green Bay. Odom back deep, and we'll get this game started. Green Bay in the green squares and Chicago in the white. Odom brings it out to the 21. Zuko makes the stop for Chicago. We'll set up the lineups for you for when Green Bay has the ball. It'll be Taylor and Anderson at running back. Hudson and Sharp, your wideouts. Hudson will play defense, as you'll see later. Houghton is your tight end. Rodgers at quarterback. Greg, Kramer, Ringo, Gillingham, and Bakhtari will be your offensive line. We'll take a look at the Chicago defense before they go into any different formations. Atkins and Dint will be your defensive ends. Mongo McMichael out of Texas, and Wally Chambers will be your defensive tackles. Fortunato, Singletary, Marshall, your linebackers. Lane, Tillman, Carrier, and Fensick. Night Train Lane is one of the quarterbacks because he used to play for the Chicago Cardinals, and to be eligible for the Chicago team, you could be either a Chicago Cardinal, back before they moved to St. Louis in the 60s and then moved later to Phoenix in the 80s, or you could be a Chicago Bear. We'll give it to Taylor on first down. This is Green Bay's first game at home, by the way. Pickup of 2, Night Train Lane in there to make the tackle, and it's now 2nd and 8. We'll go to Donnie Anderson off tackle left, but there's a marker down, so hold everything.
Offense, number 81, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
That is me slurping down a Coke as Houghton gets called for an offensive false start. Now it's 2nd and 13, so we're going to go to Hudson and we're going to go medium slant. Chicago thought that might be the play as they had a dime formation in. Actually, they have 7 defensive backs in for this play. They have brought in Goldberg, McAfee, and J.C. Caroline on 3rd and 13. So we're going to screen it. Actually, no, we're going to go short pass to Jim Taylor. And that was deflected by Fortunato, and a good defensive series for Chicago. Donnie Anderson will also double as the punter, and he goes back deep. At about the 45-yard line, it's Hester who catches it, actually the 42, and he runs it back 10 yards to the 48 of Green Bay. We'll set the lineup for you. Peyton is under center at the moment, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Peyton and Kelliger are your running backs. Hill and Graham are your wideouts. Ditka, Iron Mike Ditka, tight end. Orton, the quarterback. Connor, Sorey, Turner, Ramsey, Covert, your offensive line. Coming over here to set the Green Bay defense for you, it's Davis and Capman, your defensive ends. Jordan and Baby Ray, your defensive tackles. Matthews, Nitschke, Robinson, your linebackers. Adderley, Hudson, there's that name again. Dillon and Wood are your defensive backs. So, Walter Payton under center. Let's see what chicanery Chicago has planned here on 1st and 10 from the Green Bay 48. And he moves straight ahead
Personal
for
foul.
8.
Defense.
And it's going to be 15 more.
15-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
As Matthews commits a personal foul. And that moves it all the way down to the 25 of Green Bay. 1st and 10 from there. They were looking for Ditka, and it was overthrown. Jim Keene will come in as a 3rd wideout. And it's 2nd and 10 from the 25. To Peyton. And Peyton with a head of steam, and he picks up 13. And it was Dillon who finally tracked them down at the 12. It's now 1st and 10 from there. Another penalty.
False start. Offense. Number 20, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
This one was on Ramsey. Move them back 5. First and 15 now from the 17. Orton looks and finds Graham, who picks up 10, and Don Hudson, as I was saying, is going to play both ways. He's going to play corner and he's going to play wideout, as the teams do, as teams did do in their era. And it's a gain of 10. No, it's not a first and goal because we had just had a penalty. Second and 5 at the Green Bay 7. They give to Peyton. Peyton will score. Walter Payton out of Jackson State. And it's 6-0 Bears. Here's the point after try. He's got it, and it's 7-0. So whoever wins this game will be tied on top of the Upper North Division with Minnesota, who lost in our last game to Detroit 24-21. Odom back deep again for Green Bay. And it's going to be returnable. Let's see how far he returns it. It's out to the 30 before Buffon makes the tackle for the Bears. Off tackle right, Jimmy Taylor. And Taylor with a nice gain. Jim Taylor with a lot of running room, 44 yards. Night Train Lane came in and made the tackle. Ball all the way to the Chicago 26. We're going to go play action, and we're going to go long fly to Don Hudson. Try to get it here in 2 plays. Incomplete. Lane providing good coverage. He's considered one of the great corners of all time. Night Train Lane played for the Chicago Cardinals. Also believe played for Detroit out of Western Nebraska Community College. Don't hear about them anymore these days. Screen to Taylor on 2nd and 10. 4 yards. Marshall on the stop. Wilbur Marshall. And it's now 3rd and 6. They'll go 3 wide and bring Billy Houghton in as a wide out and move Kaufman to tight end. And we will go to Kaufman on a medium hitch. And it's caught inside the 10. They will mark him right at the 10, but it will be close enough to where it's a 1st and goal. We'll go Taylor, trap right. This is very stout front 7 of Chicago, but that's a touchdown anyhow, and Taylor on the board. Jim Taylor, who was the mastermind or the pivotal player in that power sweep that Vince Lombardi used to run. And it's 7-6. Point after try is good by Longwell. And we're tied at 7-7. Hester and Sayers back deep for the Bears. Sayers is one of the up men, but both of these men are deep threats.
Receiving team, 10-yard penalty.
Fensick called for holding on the return, and Chicago backed up to their own 10. 1st and 10 from there. A fumble, and Green Bay's got it. Wilbur Wood jumped on a Walter Payton fumble. Nitschke popped the ball out, and it's now 1st and 10 at the 11 for Green Bay. Speaking of the power sweep, let's try one. Jim Taylor, sweep to the right. 2 carries and 2 scores for Jimmy Taylor, a touchdown. He scored on back-to-back carries. He's got 4 carries for the day for 65 yards, and we're not even halfway through the 1st quarter. Point after try by Longwell is good, and it's 14-7 backers. Hester back deep again for Chicago, but this one goes long enough into the end zone where it's a touchback. So Green Bay, after surrendering the first score, has come back with 2 in a row real quick within 28 seconds of each other. And it's now Chicago's chance to answer, 1st and 10 from the 20. A long throw for Hill, incomplete. Adderley was draped all over him. And I'm sure George Harris was probably thinking, Hallis was thinking pass interference. Second and 10, ball to 20. The give to Peyton. Peyton stuffed by Ray for a loss of a yard. Baby Ray out of Vanderbilt. Pretty good defensive tackle in his era. Third and 11 at the 19. It's Orton, and he throws and caught by Keene for a pickup of 15, and that moves the ball to the 34. You don't suppose they'd call Walter Payton here. They do indeed. It's a gain of 7. Hudson on the stop for Green Bay. He's out of Alabama. Second and 3 from the 41 now. We give this time to Kelliger. Gain of 2.
Offense, number 66, 10-yard
Bulldog Turner
penalty.
gets called for holding. He goes two ways. He could play center and he could play linebacker. Second and 13 from the 31. That's caught by Iron Mike Ditka for a gain of 18. Dillon makes the tackle for Green Bay. First and 10 now at the 49. The give is to Peyton. No, it's to Kelliger. I'm sorry. Ray will be out for a few plays with some undisclosed injury to be named later. Second and 10 from the 49. A penalty.
Encroachment defense. Number 74, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Jordan called for defensive encroachment. I'm sorry. Second and 5, ball to 46. The throw and looking for Ditka, and it's incomplete. Ray will come back in the game. He's wearing number 44. Third and 5 now at the 46. We have 3 wides in the game for Chicago. Give is to Peyton on the draw, and Peyton's got running room, 14 yards. Wood on the stop at the 32. First and 10 at the 32. Kelliger, 1 yard loss. Nitschke on the stop. That makes it second and 11 to the 33. 10th play of the drive. A sack. Robinson comes in and blindsides Orton. And it's now third and 18 from the 40. A throw, incomplete to Hill. And that sack knocks Chicago out of field goal range, so they will have to punt. And we'll watch for a fake here on 4th and 18, even though the distance would not be suitable for a fake. And that goes out of bounds at the 12. And Green Bay sets up from there with 2:55 left in the opening quarter, 14-7. We're going to go double tight end, and we're going to trap it right to Jim Taylor. That's a gain of 6. Night Train Lane brings them down. Power sweep. Anderson, Donnie Anderson. And that Green Bay power running game working well. Gain of 16 before Mike Singletary could bring Anderson down. That's Anderson's first carry of the game. Taylor has 5 for 71. Speaking of the devil, we'll sweep him to the left. See if Chicago could stop that power sweep. This time they do. A loss of 2 yards. Minute 20 left to the end of the first quarter. We're going to go Hudson, try to trick him with a short slant. That is caught for 5. Night Train Lane on the stop. And they should get one more play off before the quarter ends. We'll go 3 wide. Motion. Sharp. Medium out. Possible man, but I don't think that would change my play call any. They dump it underneath to Taylor, and he picks up 6, but it'll be short of the first down by a yard. And we've reached the end of the first quarter. Green Bay 14, Chicago 7. And welcome to the start of the second quarter. Programming note, we'll have an OOTP Perfect Team episode later on tonight at 9 o'clock. So if you're catching this on Friday night, June the 26th, before 9 o'clock, as I premiere it at 8, we'll have that for you at 9. Ball to 43 for a 4th and 1. Green Bay will have to punt from there. We're not going to try any fakery here. Anderson on the punt. And Donnie Anderson's punt goes 35 yards. Hester, hemmed in at the 22, can only gain 3. So the Bears take over. Ball to 25 for 1st and 10. We have Peyton and Kelliger in the backfield. And that was an incomplete pass. Now Walter Payton back behind center again, and he's no stranger to that in real life. He had to fill in once in one game when both the Chicago quarterbacks were knocked out, and he was the emergency quarterback, and they just used him in a shotgun formation for several plays. 2nd and 10, ball to 25. And busted play there. And Peyton was on the move and lost 2 yards. 3rd and 12 now at the 23. And something happened there. It was tipped by Ray, but Peyton was Johnny on the spot to pick up 10 yards, but that's short of the first by 2. So on 4th down, Chicago will punt, or so we think. Here's the return. We're going to set up for a return, even though they thought it would be inside the 20. It wasn't. Wood picked it up at the 22 and returned it 8 to the 30. 13-13. I hope you're not superstitious. Left in this first half, and it's 14-7 Denver. 14-7 Green Bay. Why was I thinking Denver? Oh, I know why. Because our next game will be Denver and Kansas City. That'll be tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Should be the airtime for that on the Big Polly World of Sports Sims channel, or whatever the heck I'm calling this channel. I don't memorize the channel. I just put the stuff up and I just let that be that. Jim Taylor, trap right. A gain of 6, but
offense number 31, 5-yard penalty.
That's against Jim Taylor. Illegal motion call, and it's 1st and 15. We'll go to Anderson on a screen, trying to get some more yards. And he gains 11. Gary Fensick on the stop for the Bears. 125 yards so far for Green Bay, 92 for Chicago. Off tackle right, Jim Taylor. Let's see if he can get those yardage back that he lost on the penalty. Hudson has been injured on this play. A no-gain play, Wilbur Marshall on the stop for Chicago. It's now 3rd and 4. 3 wideouts in the game, and we'll go to Hudson on the short slant. Caught, but we have a marker down.
Encroachment defense. Number 81, 5-yard penalty.
The play will stand as Atkins was called for encroachment. We'll go Taylor, trap right. Try to use that inside running game and wear down the interior line of Chicago. No gain there. Chambers on the stop. Double tight ends now. We'll go to Anderson off tackle right. Nicer gain, 3 yards, and that'll make it 3rd and 7. Houghton, medium hitch. Incomplete. Goldberg on the coverage. He wearing number 99 out of Pittsburgh. Played on the 44 Chicago Bears, and probably a little before and a little after that. And on 4th and 7, Green Bay will punt. Here's Donnie Anderson back deep. Caught at the 12 by Hester, a fair catch. Chicago sets up from there with 10:01 left till halftime. Still 14-7. 1st down. Quick pass to Ditka, and he gains 7. Dillon on the stop for Green Bay. Now a 2nd and 3 from the 19. And that was to Kelliger. No gain. Nitschke on the tackle. Now it's 3rd and 3 from the 19. A screen to Taylor, but it's incompleted. As Matthews and Nitschke were on a blitz, and that disrupted the play just enough for the pass to be overthrown. 4th and 3, Chicago will punt. Green Bay will set up for the return. And that's Wood for a gain of 6 after a 45-yard punt. And ball now at the 42 of 8:19 left. Chicago but goes back on defense. Green Bay has 52 yards to go to find 6 points. Off tackle right, Jim Taylor. This was a nice gain of 4 yards as Fensick brought him down. We're going to stretch it again to Jim Taylor. And he's got nice yardage. This time 9 yards before Fortunato gets to him. And it's 1st and 10 at the Chicago 46. Anderson dive play. Just keep it simple. Penalty marker down.
Holding offense number 69. 10-yard penalty.
That's against Bakhtari. And it's 1st and 20. Trap right, Jim Taylor. Just a simple elementary play here. And that's a gain of 2 before Richard Dett got to him. 2nd and 18. Green Bay's going to throw. And we're going to go medium fly to Hudson. Try to get some of that yardage back. Oh, right through the hands of Hudson. Night Train Lane may have made contact with him. And now it's 3rd and 18. So Green Bay brings out the big guns. They're going to go to Jordy Nelson. Route plus on a long slant. One of Aaron Rodgers' favorite targets, but that's incompleted. Tipped by McAfee. McAfee had a solution for that play. 4th and 18, Green Bay punts. Here's Donnie Anderson again. He's been busy. And that is something happened there, folks, but what exactly happened, we will not know. Hester fumbled. Forrest Gregg picked up the fumble for Green Bay. He's playing special teams and returned it 5 yards. So Chicago sets up, I'm sorry, not Chicago, but Green Bay will set up at the Chicago 26. So they get the ball back on the turnover off the muff punt by Hester, or a fumbled punt by Hester. And we're going to go play action to Sterling Sharp and go for the gusto right now. And it's incomplete. Rodgers 6 for 13, 48 yards. Orton 5 for 11, 60 yards. We're going to go pitch it to the right with Jim Taylor. Trying to knock the yardage down a little bit, but he doesn't gain anything and doesn't lose anything. Wilbur Marshall brought him down. 3rd and 10 at the 26. They're in field goal range, but it's kind of iffy from here. 58% would be the estimate here. Medium out, Billy Helton. That's caught, and that's a 1st down. 16 yards before Goldberg got to him. Houghton out of Rice, played on those 50s Green Bay teams. I don't know if he played in the era of Lombardi. Lombardi became Green Bay's coach in 1959, so I don't know if Houghton stuck around long enough to be in the Lombardi era. But it's 1st and goal now at the 10. Here's Green Bay with another play, trapped to the right, Jim Taylor. And who else? He's got his 3rd touchdown of the day. So it's Jim Taylor 20 and Green Bay and Chicago 7. Here's the point after. That's by Longwell. Actually, Longwell's kicked 3 extra points in all reality and truth. And it's 21-7 Chicago with 3:58 left to the half. Here's a guy who could change the score quickly, Devin Hester. Returnable. And that's 22 yards out to the 26. So Chicago would like to get a score before the half, I would think. 1st and 10 at the 26. The give to Peyton. Peyton met rudely by Ray Nitschke, but it's Jordan who will be out of the game and will not return. I think that is Hanner that will come in to replace Jordan. We'll take a look at him. He's out of Arkansas, played on those 50s Green Bay teams, maybe before the era of Vince Lombardi. 2nd and 11 at the 25. Marker down.
False start. Offense Number 34, 5-yard penalty.
And
Repeat, second down.
Is Walter Payton who gets called for the flag. We have had 9 penalties in the game already, 30 penalty yards for Chicago, 40 for Green Bay. 3:44 left, second and 16. Incomplete. Orton was looking for Kelleher on a check down and no catch. Now a third and 16. Critical play here for the Bears. They do not get the first. Didka made a catch of 11 yards to give him 3 catches on the day for 36, but short of the first. And Green Bay's got another punt return. They will just play it safe on this one. Seeing how Devin Hester just fumbled.
Holding. Receiving team.
And Matthews called for defensive holding on the return. And that moves Green Bay all the way back to the 13 with 2:51 to go. Don't think that Green Bay will want to take any chances here up 14. So we're going to off tackle right to Donnie Anderson. And he fumbles. And Chicago's got it. Atkins picked it up and 7 yards to the Green Bay 9. So just when you want to play it safe, things happen. So Chicago with a first and goal at the Green Bay 9, and Walter Payton again under center in the shotgun, and he'll score out of it. Goes around the end and scores from 7 yards out, and it's 21-13, just like that. Here's the point after. It's good. No, it is not. Robbie Gould missed the point after. And in the HTFL, we use the old extra point system where you don't kick it from the 15. Actually, you kick it from the 22. In today's NFL, the ball isn't placed at the 15. Either going for 1, going for 2, the ball is at the same spot, the 3-yard line, and Gould missed a chip shot of an extra point. So the score will stay at 21-13, 2:33 left. Here's Odom for Green Bay, and he will down it in the end zone for a touchback. It was 6 yards deep. Back to Jim Taylor on 1st and 10 from the 20. He gains 2 yards, and we'll go to the 2-minute warning before the next play. Each team has all 3 timeouts left. It's 21-13 Green Bay. Houghton, medium slant. They look for him, it's incomplete. Now we'll go to Hudson, medium fly. 3rd and 8 play. And that is caught. And a gain of 13. And Green Bay will bang a timeout with 1:45 to go. Put a man in motion this time and look for Sterling Sharp on a medium slant, the brother of Shannon, who plays somebody in this league, probably Baltimore. And this time Aaron Rodgers was sacked by Mike Singletary for a 10-yard loss. And Chicago will burn a timeout. They have 2 left. 2nd down and 20. Screen to Jimmy Taylor. See if they can get something going here. They cannot. A loss of 3, and Chicago bangs another timeout out. They have 1 left. Not an enviable position for Green Bay. They have 3rd and 21, but they will go long and look for Houghton. A sack. Mongo McMichael brings him down. He'd go on and be a pro wrestler in the 90s for WCW and perhaps the early 2000s. Started out as a commentator and then became a wrestler for that organization. Ball to 16, 4th, and a cab ride to International Falls, Minnesota for Green Bay. And they will punt, of course. Here's Donnie Anderson punting into the wind. So Chicago gets good field position after a 3-yard return by Hester to move it to the 49. They have 51 yards to go for a score. $1:15 on the clock. They have no timeouts left, though. They trail by 8. First down. It's Kelleher. He picks up 8 yards. Green Bay will not call timeout and aid Chicago's cause any. 1:06. Chicago will probably go quickly to the line. Another run. Payton, no gain. Don't know why Chicago would be running the ball here. 3rd and 2 at the 43. Screen to Peyton. Peyton's got a first. Pickup of 9. Very little time left for Chicago. They got 19 seconds. I don't even know if they'll get this playoff. It's going to be from 51 for Gould. And it's wide right. Poor time management, even with no timeouts for the Bears. And we will go to halftime. Green Bay 21, Chicago 13. And back with you to start the second half. I will note that the first half ran a little long. So if this runs over an hour, the Perfect Team episode tonight will run at 9:15 and not 9 o'clock, or whatever, however much time. If we go over an hour, I'm just going to push it back to 9:15, or if we go over an hour and 15 minutes, I'd push it back to 9:30, something like that. So keep that in mind as we move forward. I'm also doing a state of the game, my monthly state of the game address, I guess you could call it, on Sunday afternoon, and I will post that immediately after finishing with it. So look for it sometime around 6-7 o'clock at night. If anybody has any questions for me, I would be more than happy to answer them. Post them anywhere you find the videos, and I will try to answer them Sunday. Okay, back to the game. 21-13 Green Bay, your score. 135 yards for Chicago, 176 for Green Bay. Neither quarterback all that impressive. Orton 7 out of 14 for 80 yards. And Aaron Rodgers is 9 out of 17 for 74. The running game for Green Bay, perhaps the big story right now. 17 for 118, 6.9, 3 touchdowns. Jimmy Taylor's got all of them. He's got 96 yards rushing as we start the second half. Chicago will get the ball first to start the second half. Here's Devin Hester. Takes it from behind the goal line, moves it to the 16 for an 18-yard return. Chicago starts with a 1st and 10 from the 16. Long throw, not a long throw, but a medium-sized throw to Ditka, but it fell incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. Looking for Ditka. Ditka's got it. Pickup of 17. Dillon makes the tackle. And it's now 1st and 10 from the 33. Ditka again, and that's for 11 yards. Dillon again on the stop. Let's look at Dillon, Bobby Dillon, out of Texas. Another one of those 50s Packers players. 1st and 10, ball at the 44. And that's Peyton up the middle for 5. Peyton has 11 carries, 62 yards, 2 catches out of the backfield for 19, and he's played a little quarterback today. A few plays. 2nd and 5 from the 49. Deflected by Matthews, and it falls incomplete, looking for Mike Ditka. Now a 3rd and 5 from the 49. And complete again. So Orton now 9 for 19. That time he was looking for Walter Payton. Punt time for Chicago. We're going to watch for a fake. And the kick is out of bounds at the 14 for a 37-yard punt. Green Bay goes into the wind as they were in the second quarter, so they will have the wind advantage for the fourth and final quarter, unless we go overtime. Off tackle right, Jim Taylor on 1st down. That's no gain. He gets back to the line, and that's all. Wilbur Marshall out of Florida again on the tackle. Now it's 2nd and 10. We'll medium slant it to Don Hudson with a little luck. And he was covered well. Incompletion. Nitrane Lane stepped in front of that one. 3rd and 10. Ball to 14. We're going to play it safe, and we're going to screen it to Jim Taylor. Don't want to turn the ball over here like they did before, and that's only a gain of 8. Did not pick up the 1st down. 4th and 2 from the 22. Here's Anderson back deep to punt. And Hester picks up 6 on the return, a punt of merely 35 yards. So Chicago takes over. They get in better field position this time. Ball at the 49. 10:40 left in the third. First and 10. That's an incomplete pass looking for Ditka, and Ditka barking at the officials for a flag, getting none. Second and 10 from Chicago's own 49. This was a fumble. Covert pounced on it for Chicago. And it is a loss of 7. Third and 17. Ball at the 42. A throw, and it was just underneath the Keene. It was a short throw. Wood made the tackle, bottled him up, made sure he got no farther. And it's 4th and 12 from the 47. Punt return time. And this is going to land inside the 10. Fair catch it. And it's fair caught at the 8. So it didn't go all the way down near the end zone. Wasn't They won't be starting from the 1 or the 2, so that's good. Ball at the 8 for a first down. Here's a trap right to Jim Taylor. Loss of a yard, but a holding call. Oh, goodness. Hudson gets called for holding. Back Green Bay up 4 yards because it's half the distance. First and 14, ball at the 4. Dive play, Jim Taylor. Again, we might have graphics issues here. And he gains 10 yards. He goes over 100 on the day. There's a play that develops over here on this right end that for some reason the animation does not kick in. Anybody doing the football game for Dave Koch Sports sees these videos. Would you mind fixing that, please? Okay, Jim Taylor, gain of 10. I gave him 106 on the day. 100-yard game, no matter what happens, unless he loses 7 somewhere along the way. Trap right, Jim Taylor. No gain. Chambers on the stop. We'll go sharp, medium hitch. That's caught. Tillman makes the tackle. It's going to be challenged, though.
Upon further review, the ball touched the ground before being secured. Incomplete.
Not a first down. It'll be 4th down. So it'll be 4th and 4 instead of a first down and 10. And Green Bay will have to punt again. Here's Anderson. And Chicago will again have excellent field position, even though it was fumbled and picked up by Richard Dent. Ball right at midfield with 7:25 left in the third. First and 10 from the 50. They give to Peyton. Peyton has 3. Kelliger hurt on that last play, so they will bring in McLean, Ray McLean, Scooter, I do believe, and he could play running back and defensive back. He will wear number 57. He's out of St. Anselm, I'm going to guess that is. Ball to 47 for a 2nd and 7. Incomplete, looking for Mike Ditka. Kelliger will come back in now. They looked at his thumb and said, it's just a bruise. 3rd and 7. 3 wideouts in for Chicago. Peyton the alone setback, and that was a throw to Keene, and he picks up 8. Hudson makes the tackle for Green Bay. 1st and 10 now at the Green Bay 39. That's a throw and a catch, but a marker down.
Offense.
And it's going to come back. Connor.
10-yard penalty.
George Connor gets called for offensive holding. He could also play linebacker. He's out of Notre Dame. 1st and 20, ball at the 49. That's a throw and a catch to Ditka, 7 yards. Orton 12 for 24, 128 yards. Ball to 42 for a 2nd and 13. Ditka incomplete. Leapt but could not make the catch. 3rd and 13, critical play here for the Bears. Ditka. I'm sorry, it was Orton rolling to his right, and he intercepted. Interception by Dave Robinson. and he returns that 6 yards. So Green Bay with the ball back. That's 3 turnovers for Chicago and 1 for Green Bay so far. If you're tired of the monotony, we're going to try to break it up. A long fly on play action to Don Hudson here on first down. Always like to go for that quick strike, and it's incomplete. Night Train Lane providing excellent coverage. He's had a pretty good game so far today. 2nd and 10 now. We'll give it to Taylor on a screen. And that's good. A completed pass, just short of the first down. I have one challenge to use. I will use it to see if the first down was attained.
Upon further review, the runner reached the first down marker. First down. No timeout will be charged.
There you go. In HTFL play, each team has one challenge, but all scores and all turnovers are looked at by the review booth. Probably heard me say that about 30 times so far doing these games. Anyway, 1st and 10. You never know, somebody could be just watching this game for the first time and enjoying it, so I have to remind everybody of the rules here and there. Off tackle left, Jim Taylor. Try to throw him off here with a misdirection. Gain of 2 for Taylor. Mongo McMichael on the tackle. Real first name is Steve, and he gains 2 for 108 yards on the day. That was his 18th rush. We'll go right back to Taylor. Off tackle right. No gain there. They're reading Taylor like a book. Dent on the stop for Chicago. It's now 3rd and 9. We'll go to Sterling Sharp on a medium hitch. That's caught, and that's a first down. Pick up a 14. It's Tillman, Lawyer Tillman, I do believe. No, Charles Tillman out of Louisiana Lafayette. Provided the, I don't know why I say the Lawyer Tillman for. Okay. There was such a player named Lawyer Tillman, but I don't even know he played pro. Jim Taylor trapped to the right. And that's a nice gain for Taylor, 15 yards. And they'll bring him out of the game for a few plays. Get it out, Paulie. Amon Green's gonna play for him off tackle right. We'll get the ball right to him. And Green straight ahead for 7 yards. Ball to 16 for a 2nd and 3, and that was Night Train Lane on the tackle. Ball at the 16. Taylor's come back in the game. We'll go to him on a pitch right. Keep him busy. And he gains 2. 3rd and a yard. Vince Lombardi in this situation would like to do a quarterback sneak. We've got 3 tight ends in now. Houghton, Kaufman, Harris. And we're going to go a quarterback sneak to Aaron Rodgers. Got the first down. Stay in a double tight end set. You know, he called quarterback sneak in that famous Ice Bowl game against Dallas, a 4th and goal situation. They did not. They were down a field goal, and they did not want to kick a field goal and tie it because they were playing in weather conditions that were just terrible, 15 below game time temperature, and probably got worse as the game wore on. So they wanted to end the game right then and there. They did not want to go to overtime in that situation. Lombardi didn't. 1st and 10 from the 13, trap right, Jim Taylor. He loses a yard. They're keying on him now, and that'll be the end of quarter number 3. Green Bay 21, Chicago 13. All right, we're ready to start the 4th quarter. As I've been mentioning, at either 9 or 9:15 this evening, we'll have an OOTP Perfect Team episode. So if you enjoy those videos, we'll have another one up for you later on this evening. On 2nd and 11, we're going to go to Hudson, and we're going to go medium cross. Caught, and a touchdown for Hudson. Don Hudson out of Alabama has widened the lead for Green Bay. Here's the point after try, and it is good from Longwell. And it's 28-13 with 14:52 left in the fourth quarter. Hester back deep for Chicago. He will return it, even though it was in the end zone, and that was a return of 15 to the 15 of 18 yards. Matt Forte is going to come into the game at wide running back, and Willie Galt, world-class Willie, played for the University of Tennessee, was better known as a sprinter than anything else in his college days. He will be the fourth wideout. First and 10, ball to 15. They give it to Forte. He loses nothing and gains nothing. Campman on the stop for the Packers. Might be a very short time away from going 2-1. Second and 10 at the 15. Forte, he doesn't pick up much there either. Davis shoves him out of bounds, and it's now third and 10 from the 15. And that's a throw underneath to Keene, who gains 16 yards. Keene on the day has 4 catches for 44. Orton, 13 for 27, 144 and 1 pick. Chicago throwing into the wind now. First and 10 at the 31. Throw, caught. That's Willie Galt for you. 25-yard gain. He was a deep threat on that 85 Bears team. And that was Sharper on the tackle for Green Bay. First and 10 at the Packers 44. To Forte again. Forte, no gain. He's had 3 carries and gained nothing. Nada. Zilch. Second and 10, ball to 44. A throw, incomplete to Galt. And now it's third and 10. Ball to 44. Again, they look underneath, this time to Forte. It's an incomplete pass. Fourth and 10, and Chicago's going to go for it. The throw, incomplete. Green Bay gets it on downs. Looking for Graham on that last throw. Aaron Rodgers comes out. Nice chant of "Go, Pack, go!" Whooping around Lambeau Field at the moment. Jim Taylor off tackle right. And that's a gain of 3. Green Bay is going to try to chew up some clock here. Just keep the ball on the ground. But the last time they were thinking that, they gave up the ball on a fumble. Off tackle right, Donnie Anderson. That's a gain of 1 yard. And it's now third and 6. To Taylor. Pitch to the right. No pickup on the play. They ran it on third and 6 just to chew up clock, because they don't think Chicago will have enough time to get back into this one. Sideline punt for Anderson. And that punt, even with a wind advantage, goes 34 yards. They kicked away from Hester. And Chicago's got it now, a first and 10 from the 18, 8:33 to go. Incomplete. Orton passing to Galt. And that was incomplete. That is now 18 incompletions. Actually 17, because he threw a pick. 14 for 32, 169 has Orton. Throwing the ball like Bob Orton Jr. Second and 10 from the 18. And that's Forte for a gain of 3. Adderley makes the stop. Third and 7 from the 21. Incomplete pass. Connor hobbling off with a leg injury. And that was intended for Forte, but Dillon got to it. This time Chicago will punt with 8:04 to go. Backed on their own 21. And it was Wood catching that on the run and gained 6 yards to the Chicago 47 before Buffon brings him down. Same strategy here for Green Bay. Just run the ball, and hope you can chew up some clock. Jim Taylor off tackle right. Marker down.
Personal foul. Defense. number 50.
Ooh,
15-yard
Singletary
penalty,
got a little
automatic,
fresh.
first down.
And that's a critical 15-yard penalty there, first down, and that puts Green Bay on the edge of field goal range. 7:48 to go. Trap right, Jim Taylor. A gain of a yard. Night Train Lane with 10 tackles today. You'd think he had a little more. It seems like I've been calling his number more often than not. 2nd and 9 from the 31. Taylor. Sweep to the right. Back to the line, and that's all. 3rd and 9. We're going to run a quarterback draw with Aaron Rodgers. He only gets back to the line. Singletary on the stop. Vince Lombardi stations himself over by the referee and is looking at that scoreboard clock and calls a timeout with 1 second on the play clock to run the clock down to 5:37. Longwell is going to come on with a wind advantage and try a 48-yarder. We'll see what happens here. No good, but we have a marker.
Offsides, defense, 5-yard penalty.
So move it 5 yards closer. It'll now be a 43-yard try, and Longwell's odds go up to 74% that he could hit this from 43. And he pushes it right again. No good. 5:27 left. Chicago needs 2 scores, and one of those scores has to be a 2-point conversion in order for them to tie. 5:27 left, ball to 33, 1st and 10. 4 wides for Chicago. And a sack. Matthews comes up the middle, and there was the boom on Orton. Loss of 10. And it's now 2nd and 20. Orton's bad day continuing. And a fumble and a sack by Campman. Chicago recovered the fumble. In fact, it was Kyle Orton who jumped on it. 3rd and 23 from the 20 with 4:58 to go. A long throw, incomplete. He was looking for Willie Galt, and it was in and out of his hands. Chicago in punt formation. I think they will punt here. Now a 4th and a cab ride to Eau Claire. 31-yard punt, fair caught by Willie Wood. Ball to 49, a 1st and 10. Trap right, Jim Taylor.
False start. Offense,
Ooh.
number 51, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
They get Ringo for a false start. Lauren Green will be singing a song about him. He took Ringo to the top of the charts at some point in the 60s. It's now a 1st and 15 at the 44. How about Donnie Anderson trapping right? Another marker
Encroachment,
down.
defense. Number 76, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Mongo gives the 5 yards right back. We have had 16 penalties in the game so far. How about a little trickery here? How about a long pass to Hudson at a double tight end set? Oh, he got it. 23 yards. Move it to the Chicago 28. We'll go full house. And instead of Green, I don't want Taylor. I want somebody else to come into the game, like Paul Horning. We're going to bring in number 5, and we're going to go to him, trap right. And Paul Horning is going to score on his only carry of the game so far. The Golden Boy from Notre Dame. Vince Lombardi gives him a nice big hug as he comes back from the sideline. It's 34-13. Here's the point after. It's good. And it's Glory Day in Green Bay as the Packers have a 22-point lead with 3:24 left to go. Here's Hester again for the Bears, but this is going to be a touchback. Desperation time now for Chicago. Incomplete pass, a screen to 40. Going to be 2nd and 10. Orton having a nightmare of a day in the second half.
Encroachment, defense. Number
Campman
74,
called
5-yard
for
penalty. Repeat, second
defensive
down.
encroachment. Move that up 5. Second and 5, ball to 25. Incomplete, looking for Forte. Third and 5 with 3:10 to go. That's Forte again, but he'll be short. Short of the first down. Fourth and 4. Of course, Chicago's going to go for it here. Ball to 26. Long throw and an incompletion. So Green Bay gets it back. Horning in the game. Going to put in Brett Favre at quarterback. Number 4. You got a 4 and a 5 in the backfield. We'll give it to Horning again on a dive play. Instead, it was a busted play and Favre gains a yard. 2-minute warning. It's 35-13. And we're going to switch things up. Put Anderson back in at the fullback spot. He said, Anderson in the lineup at full, and we're going to put Paul Horning in the backfield. Try to give him the ball a couple more times before this one's over with. Trap to the right, Paul Horning. Paul Horning would go on and become a CBS sports commentator for many years. Was often teamed with Lindsey Nelson, who liked to wear the loud jackets on his CBS broadcast, and he also did Notre Dame games together for syndication. So they saw a lot of each other. It's now 3rd and 7 from the 23. Time running down. Trap right, Paul Horning again. This time Horning is stuffed behind the line by Richard Dent for a 2-yard loss. Vince Lombardi walks over to one of the officials and looking at the clock and looking at the clock and looking at the clock, and he calls timeout with 1 on the play clock again. They have 1 timeout left, and Chicago gets the ball back. They will have 3. Longwell for a field goal from 42, and that one's going to be right down the pipe. And it's 38-13. Squib kick. And Hester came up to get it. Gain of 5. 15 seconds to go. Everybody back for Green Bay. Long pass. Incomplete.
Pass interference.
They'll get Adderley
defense.
for pass
Number
interference.
26, automatic, first down.
Time for one more play. 8 seconds to go. Off the hands of Willie Gault, who dropped 2 today, which is saying something because he didn't come into the game till the 4th quarter. Your final, Green Bay 38, Chicago 13. So Green Bay goes to 2-1 and now has a tie in the Upper North Division with Minnesota. They gained 314 yards. Chicago had 216. Teams were perfect in the red zones. Chicago went in twice, scored two touchdowns. Green Bay went in 4 times, scored 4 touchdowns. Chicago was 0-2 on 4th downs. Green Bay had 7 runs of 10 yards or more. Chicago had 2, and they had the only passing gain of 25 yards or more. 18 penalties in the game. Green Bay had 101 yards in penalties. Chicago gave up 4 sacks. Green Bay gave up 2. Orton was all over the place, 15 for 39 for 170. Green Bay had the better rushing game going, 37 carries for 187 yards. If you wanted to give somebody player of the game, I'd give it to Jim Taylor, 26 for 127. Here's the scoring summary again. 21 unanswered by Green Bay, and then another 17 unanswered after Chicago scored late in the 2nd quarter. So your final will be Chicago 38, Green Bay 13. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, we'll have Kansas City and Denver. Denver coming off a bye week. They're 1-0. Kansas City 1-1 to start the year. Denver a 7-point favorite. Then Sunday we traditionally take off, and we come back with San Francisco at Seattle on Monday, San Diego, LA on Tuesday. The unplugged game, the only unplugged game this week will be 0-2 Arizona against 0-2 Las Vegas. We only do unplugged games when two teams have losing records. The Monday night game, which will actually be Thursday, Baltimore at Pittsburgh. So again, your final, Green Bay 38, Chicago 13. We'll be back. We're OOTP Perfect Team at either 9 or 9:15 tonight, depending on the length of this game, which I won't know until I post-produce it. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. Hope you enjoyed today's game. Goodbye for now, everybody.